So, guys, tonight's all about getting achievements. I have not actively tried to get achievements, I think so, since I did my YouTube show. So, those of you may or may not know, I hadn't always been a streamer. I was a video content creator, first on Blip TV, and then transferred over into YouTube. The reason why I don't do that show anymore, or that was called the Achievement Whore, is because I didn't like that style of video anymore, and I found myself trying to copy too many other people in that genre. We were trying to be like those people on Channel Awesome and that guy with the glasses.com, and an interesting conversation popped up that I need to find the original tweet, and I'm going to show you guys it. So this was a quoted retweet of a subtweet. So this is from Derek Alexander, the former Happy Video Game Nerd, and from Stop Skeletons from Fighting. Basically, the sub of this tweet by former Channel Awesome reviewers, basically it entitles that they completely regret ever starting up that style of video, because it now locks them in to this perception of you're not happy, or your audience will never be happy unless you keep consistently shitting on things. Now, Linkara says that he's trying to argue with someone else, is that you're not understanding the problem. There's nothing wrong with making fun of bad movies. The problem is the culture. We often took a mindset that we couldn't talk about stuff we enjoyed or liked. If there was any way to make but there was any way of making it that entertaining. The idea of thought-provoking video essays about subjects we enjoyed, or even riffing on stuff we liked, we felt was boring. And our attitude towards the material was one of smug superiority. When the criticisms were shallow or didn't really get into why something didn't work, or that something was bad just because the performance was over the top or something. No thoughts about cultural context, or why creators decide to do things a certain way. No attempt at learning about the people behind the film, using vulgarities and slurs and screaming. Yeah, basically, like, a lot of people denouncing now that former style, and I completely agree, because, you know, unfortunately, you know, Abe Simpson, it was the style at the time, was to just, you know, pick random thing and say it was shitty. You know, hold up your copy of Star Trek Blu-rays and say, this movie makes no sense. And this really hit home for me too with what Derek said here. Some of the earliest comments I ever got were, "What are you doing? You can't talk about old video games without cursing or being angry. You're doing it all wrong." I've had my grumpy moments, but I've always tried to come correct and not be negative just to be negative. And I find myself like really vaulting away from that style. There are some people like the Doug Walkers of the world who will just never ever abandon that style. I love it though when I find a content creator who, yeah, he'll have a persona, yes, but then he'll be like, well, yes, those are my nitpicks about that. I talk about some of the good stuff too, but here's some of the stuff I do like. See if we can all like that together. So with guys like Doug Walker, I see that, you know, the character has kind of overtaken the person. So I think right now it's kind of an episode of South Park where Stan just sees everything as shit. So the doctor says you've been what we call in the medical terms a cynical asshole. So that's one of the main reasons why I don't do this show anymore. I tried various different formats. Also too, the whole like, I must review this to stop this evil person. I was trying to be too much like that. Damn, like, this is dumb. I completely abandoned that idea. I reformatted the show, and then I completely abandoned that idea. Like, a lot of you don't know that a lot of those episodes in the Blip days got a lot of views. So much so that a lot of my videos back in the old Screw Attack days got featured on the front page. One of them actually was the subject of an entire Screw Attack stream. I did a video on Achievement Whore for the Simpsons Arcade, telling you how to get all the achievements in the Simpsons Arcade game. And Craig and Nick were like, let's do that. So their challenge Monday was like to beat Simpsons on Expert with all those lives, and they ended up doing it within an hour, and they're like, oh crap, what do we do now? But Thantos says in the chat, TLDLB, James Rolfe, not Doug Walker. Well, that's the thing too, is that, I mean, James has his separate videos where he can have his own opinion, but the moneymaker is still an AVGN. Like, his audience, unfortunately, is like Doug's audience. They will not let him do anything else and be successful at it. It's, no, you have to still be the Nostalgia Critic. You still have to be the AVGN because your other ones are not going to do well. And I mean, if you go back into my YouTube and you watch some of my old stuff, they're like really bad. Like, unfortunately, I'm not going to be like Max, and I'm not going to be like the Baser. I'm not going to sit here an entire night and go through my entire back catalog of videos. They're all there for you to freely watch if you want to judge for yourself. I rarely ever go back and look at my old videos. And that's another reason why I kind of stopped that style of video, was because I did see a lot of people just, unless your first name is Ray, no one really cares about achievements anymore. The only reason I'm doing achievements tonight is because I'm going to make money off of it. Like, as soon as I hit 10,000 gamer score, boom, I've got money. That's 10,000 points towards my Microsoft rewards that I can now exchange for actual currency to buy video games. Even though I spent $50 on video games today because of a sale. There are some people that are just happy sticking in that rut, though. Like, they're like the Angry Joes and the Walkers. They are happy staying in that rut of just being the same thing over and over again and never evolving. But I applaud those that do take the initiative. Like Derek Alexander here. He was trying to be the positive video game reviewer. But then he's like, you know what? This style of review is not going to last. I need something different. And then he completely revamped. He changed from AVGN or HVGN to Stop Skeletons from Fighting. And to be honest, I'm a huge fan of his work now. These really super informative videos about different console ports, localization stuff. Like, I really like them. If you guys like that type of informative video, I highly suggest to go subscribe to his channel. Not to say that I absolutely hate the skit stuff if done right. I mean, Scott the Law is he does the skit stuff periodically, and I really enjoy those. I mean, it's not like a Doug Walker where it's just like, okay, here's 10 seconds of my thought of this stupid scene. Let's, do a 20-minute sketch comedy with my other actors in costumes and stuff. And I used to be a big fan too of CinemaSins, when he would just point out, continuity errors in movies. And then the YouTube algorithms kick in, and it's like, okay, I need lengthier videos, so let me just spend it nitpicking every single plot point or repeating the plot points at every single point. Like sometimes I wonder if they're just feeding off their subscribers alone. I rarely hear of anyone talk about those channels anymore. A lot of people have moved on. So anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.